Hello everybody, MorbTron here. Well, today we had the reveal stream for Season of Dawn, and I kind of wanted to talk about that, give my opinions on it, my thoughts, give a little bit of a roundup, a recap for you all if you didn't get a chance to catch a stream or don't want to watch a 48-minute video of Deej and other Bungie developers having a hard time talking in front of a camera. It's pretty funny, actually. Some of them struggled quite a bit. But I want to talk about the things that were not talked about in the reveal stream first before I move on to things that we can expect in Season of Dawn and things we should not expect to get in Season of Dawn. So they did not... Oh, I did a big dumb. I did a big old dumb. It's fine. They did not talk about a new raid at all. So do not expect to get a new raid. We'll probably be doing the same raid that we were doing now for another, few months. This season, Season of Dawn, ends in March, early March, so hopefully Season 10 will get a new raid. We didn't get a new raid with every season last year either, so that's fine, whatever. As long as the rest of the season is good, I guess I don't really mind if we don't get a new raid. But one thing they did not talk about at all in the stream, and one thing that they haven't talked about at all for weeks now, is actually Gambit, or Gambit Prime. Now going into, year 3, Season 8, they talked about, the difficulties of balancing both Gambit and Gambit Prime together, and they were saying that one of the two would eventually have to go, so they could balance out the other and make it actually a balanced activity. And they haven't talked about that since. So I don't really know what to expect for Gambit. I know that there's not a whole lot of people that enjoy Gambit versus people that, enjoy PvE activities or Crucible. Gambit kind of seems to be like the in-between child that nobody really cares for at Bungie. So I know that it's kind of a niche player base that likes Gambit. I personally despise Gambit and only play it when I'm forced to get seasonal weapons and that sort of thing. And another thing they did not talk about for Season of Dawn, which we'll probably be getting because we've had one every other season, are seasonal weapons. We had, Randy's throwing knife this season for Crucible. We had an SMG for Gambit, and we had a machine gun for Vanguard stuff. And I would assume that we'll be getting more weapons like that this time around as well. But they didn't mention anything about it. So there's a lot of things they just didn't talk about. And I don't know if they're just holding their cards to their chest and don't want to give out all of the info on what they'll be providing us for fun times and fun things to farm for. But I would expect there to be new seasonal weapons for pinnacle activities or pinnacle weapons or whatever you want to call them. Whatever Bungie, whatever name Bungie wants to throw at them, I'm sure there'll be new things to farm for. Now, they didn't really touch too much on PvP, but they did say that Elimination would be going into rotation as an actual playlist activity for Crucible, and we'll be getting some new maps and some maps returning from quality of life changes. One of the new maps being Rusted Lands from Destiny 1, and Rusted Lands in Destiny 1 was incredibly fun. It's a good balanced map. Maybe not for Control. I don't remember ever playing Control in Rusted Lands. It might have not been a Control map, or maybe I just didn't like it on Control, so I just blocked it out of my memory. It's been a few years since I played Destiny 1. But what I can say is that more maps for Crucible is always a good thing, and if they're bringing back old maps that have been fixed for quality of life changes, that's also a good thing. But let's actually take a look real quick at what they have talked about over the past few weeks going into this new season, Season of Dawn. One of those things being changes to solar subclasses, like the one that I'm doing right now, or using right now. And let's tab out and take a look at that. So, I'm just going to go to orbit here, because otherwise I'm just going to get shot at a lot. There we go. Now I will tab out. So we're looking here now at the Season of Dawn stuff. And if we scroll all the way to the top, it says here December 10th through March 9th. So, like I said, early March, we'll be going into whatever the next season is going to be. And on this webpage here, it's just on Bungie.net. It's one of the first articles that they link You can kind of see some of the activities, a little bit of teasers to stuff for stuff to come. You know, they give a little hint at what Mercury is going to look like. There's going to be, you know, apparently multiple timelines on the same Mercury, and we have to fight through, you know, using the sundial to try to fix it, and the Cabal are being jerks again, that sort of thing. You know, we fight back and save Saint 14, apparently. That's going to be a neat campaign. Saint 14 isn't a character that was very prominent in Destiny lore, but in Curse of Osiris, they gave us a quest line that kind of gave us more lore about him and all that stuff, and now they're finally kind of bringing him back. I don't know if that was their intention for Curse of Osiris and they were just not able to pull it off with the timeline they were given. Who knows? But this season seems to be just fixing Curse of Osiris's problems, and I'm honestly fine with that. We have the Sundial, the new 6-player activity, taking the place of the Vex Offensive. The Vex Offensive was interesting at first, but got very repetitive and boring. So hopefully with the rotating bosses from week to week, and the new kind of randomly put in sections of the activity as you go from, I would assume, like a 1, 2, 3, and then a boss, like first tier, second tier, third tier, kind of like Vex Offensive. And apparently those are also going to be randomized for what objectives you have to do. So that'll be interesting. Of course, we have new seasonal weapons. We have, from what I saw in the reveal trailer, we have like Saint 14 themed weapons and armor. And we also have like Vex, Curse of Osiris type themed weapons and armor as well. So that'll be interesting to see what we get there, what will be good, what will have good archetypes, if any new perks come around, or if something is just going to be super, super good or incredibly terrible. Personally, the Vex Offensive weapons, I didn't enjoy any of them. The SMG is okay, but outshined, of course, by the Recluse, which will be getting nerfed finally going into next season, along with One-Eyed Mask. The nerf will be landing for that as well. Now, the new seasonal artifact, they didn't really show much on the reveal stream, only that instead of having like SMGs, hand cannons, auto rifles, or taking down barriers, overload champions, stuff like that, we're now going to have pulse rifles and scout rifles and bows and other long-range precision weapons. They said that they're focusing more on the long-range weaponry this time around for the seasonal artifact, so expect to see a lot of scout rifles being used, probably a lot of Randy's throwing knife being used, honestly, if people do happen to get that, which is something I still need to get myself. We have 3 new exotic weapons coming, and for season pass holders, you get it actually on day 1, like we did with Season of Undying. It's in this first little box here at level 1. And then if you don't have the season pass, again, you have to wait all the way until level 35 to get your hands on it, but not that big of a deal. You can get to rank 35 within, I would say, a week or 2 of casual play. And then, of course, we have a new exotic sidearm, it looks like. It could be a hand cannon, but you do notice here how it is reloaded through the grip, and that just screams sidearm to me. So we'll see, but I'm saying that's a sidearm. This is probably an auto rifle. However, the magazine down there looks like it could be a fusion rifle as well. But from what I saw in the gameplay trailer and the reveal stream, this is more of an auto rifle, but it could be kind of a mix between a fusion rifle and an auto rifle. They do have those kind of like mix exotics from time to time, so we'll see. But here is the what do you want to call this? The season 9 calendar right there, right at the top. So the Season of Dawn pass gets you the new PvE mode, the Sundial, and the Sundial, Nyrule, the Hollow Voice, which is towards the end of the season. Now, free to play for all Destiny 2 players. Seasonal artifact, you get the Solar class updates, PvE mode or PvP mode elimination, the reprise PvP map Rusted Lands, Tangled Shore, and Mars obelisks open. We didn't get any word on what the obelisks are, and I'm not going to speculate on it, but it's probably some PvE activity. We have all this other stuff. We, of course, have Iron Banner, the exotic quest for Bastion, which is the name of the exotic, but like I said, could be a mix between an auto and a fusion rifle. Who knows what it'll actually be. And we have the Devil's Ruin, which is the sidearm. Legend Sundial opens on the same day, which looks like it's going to be like the hard mode version of it. Now, the interesting thing here is the Dawning from December 17th through the 14th of January. There's sparrows, and they appear to be racing. Now, that could just be they wanted to show off the sparrow from last year, and like tiny thing right there. The new Season of Dawn sparrow looks like it's going to look like a snowmobile. That's pretty cool. Or a snow machine if you're up in Alaska or Canada. But here in Minnesota, we call them snowmobiles, and that's cool as hell if we're going to get a sparrow that looks like a snowmobile. But yeah, that's cool. And then at the end of the season, we of course have Crimson Days. If they brought back SRL for the Dawning and Crimson Days, again, there's two sparrows. They appear to be racing. I would absolutely love it. I loved SRL, and if we got SRL to come back, even for just like an event that lasts a month and then a week, I'd be super happy. I'd be so happy if they brought back SRL. That'd be fantastic. And of course, since the Dawning and Crimson Days are holiday events, those would be included in the free-to-play version of Destiny 2 as well. So you would not need to own the Season Pass to participate in the Dawning or in Crimson Days. So the Season Pass for this season doesn't appear to be giving us a whole lot. You know, we don't have a raid. We don't have any sort of Pinnacle Crucible activity. We have 3 exotic weapons, one of which you can get by playing free-to-play. We have the Sundial activity, and that's about it. And of course, we have like seasonal ornaments and stuff like that. But then if we go over to the this week at Bungie from November 21st, they kind of go over the solar subclass changes. And they're not changing every single path for every single solar subclass, but focusing on one for Hunter, one for Titan, one for Warlock, that needs some love. So the bottom tree, Way of the Sharpshooter Gunslinger, they're giving us a little bit of a tweak to it. They're getting a new melee ability called Weighted Knife. It's a high damage knife throw with a long wind-up, meaning that there's probably going to be a little bit of a weight. I don't know if you'll have to hold the button and then like kind of like a fusion rifle charge up is what I'm thinking, and then it throws the knife, or if you just press the button and then it has to just wait a second and then you throw the knife. I don't know. We'll have to play with it when it comes out. So it travels at high speeds, bounces once, and does extra damage to the head, and will be a one-hit precision final blow in PvP. Now, I don't mind. I don't care at all that Hunters are getting a one-shot melee kill for PvP. Titans have had shoulder charge for every Solar, Void, and Arc subclasses for a long time now, and they've one hit for a long time now. Granted, this Weighted Knife is a ranged melee ability, and shoulder charge you have to get up in your opponent's face, but this has the drawback of having to be a precision hit to be a one-shot kill, and it does have that wind-up time as well, and depending on how long that could be, you could be able to flinch somebody out of it at the very least, or even kill them outright before they're able to get the knife throw off. And then we have a quality of life update for Practice Makes Perfect, so lasts longer, but gives a little bit less energy per second, and precision hits grant 2 stacks. So it's a small tweak. You're probably not going to notice it all that much. Just giving a little bit of a tweak to it. Now, a new thing is called Knock 'em Down, where precision final blows increase weapon stability and aim down sight speed. The timer starts at 10 seconds, but any additional final blow or assists can increase up to 25 seconds. That is insane. So back in Destiny 1, the Way of the Sharpshooter was always kind of a... Yeah, the super was okay. It did a lot of damage, but it didn't last a long time, and you only got 3 shots with it. But it also affected your other weapon usage, your mid-game, a lot more for precision kills. And now this is kind of going back to that, where, you know, being able to have that precision kills, or precision hits even, with your weapons is going to greatly benefit you. So you're going to probably see a lot of snipers using this, or a lot of people using scouts and pulses with Way of the Sharpshooter. Don't expect to see too many shotgun rushers using it, but there we go. And the one that I'm more interested in is the Sunbreaker Code of the Devastator, which is a middle path for Solar Titans. Right now, it's really good in very niche situations. It can shut down certain supers in the Crucible very easy, but can also be avoided very easily if you're able to stay up in the air, or if you're on a map that has a lot of harsh terrain, the super will just kind of stop and won't go anywhere, won't track people, will just hit an edge and explode, and you'll be done. And this is not going to be fixing the terrain problem with that super, but it will be able to hit people in the air with a larger detonation radius, so it looks like it's going to be more deadly for the people that don't know how to avoid it. But if you go around a sharp enough corner, or go over a terrain level change like a cliff, or even a set of stairs at some times, the super will stop tracking and just detonate, and you can get away from them pretty easily. Now the heavy attack is going to have an increased energy cost because of it being more effective, and the light attack is getting its energy cost reduced a tiny bit. Probably not going to notice either one of them. And the super overall is getting about a 7-second increase in duration, so you don't have to just madly use it really quickly before it runs out. You have almost 30 seconds now before your super runs out. And what was shown off a lot in the reveal trailer was the new Attunement of Sky Dawnblade, which is the top tree Dawnblade. Now, they are doing a slight nerf to both top and bottom tree Dawnblades. Burst Glide is no longer going to be sending Warlocks halfway across the map in seconds with Burst Glide in their super, but Icarus Dash with Top Tree is going to be retaining the aerial domination for their super usage, and it's probably going to be a little bit more controllable. You know, Burst Glide could get you going so quickly in your super that you could end up killing yourself by just hitting a rock. So this will be a little bit more controllable and maybe a little bit less ridiculous on PC. It's almost impossible to get away from a Dawnblade, either top tree or bottom tree, in super on PC. But hopefully this will fix that, make it a little bit more balanced, and you'll still be able to have that speed with Icarus Dash. And of course we have that new melee ability, which is shown off a lot during both the trailer and the reveal stream. It is another ranged melee ability, so you send a spiral of 3 explosive solar projectiles. Damage looked like it was pretty good. And then we have Heat Rises, which is going to be useful, I would say, in PvE activities. In the Crucible, you're just going to get shot in the face very easily if you're up in the air trying to shoot people. But you consume your grenade to extend glide time and dramatically reduce in-air accuracy penalties for weapons. And then Winged Sun kind of does this thing where you can fire weapons, use Celestial Fire, which is your melee ability, throw grenades while gliding. Airborne Final Blows grant melee energy and extend duration of Heat Rises. So there you go. And then Icarus Dash gets a small rework as well. Tap crouch twice to dodge midair. Dodging in Daybreak accelerates players farther and costs less super energy while under the effects of Heat Rises. So if you consume your grenade before you pop your super, you will have less super consumption for dodging in air. And due to the nature of the reworks, Wings of Sacred Dawn received a buff where it gains 15% damage resistance while Tome of Dawn is active. So the Wings of Sacred Dawn exotic isn't going to be the Noob Alert exotic for Warlocks in Crucible anymore. Will it be super effective? I don't think so. If you're up in the air in Crucible and not actually around cover or sliding or moving, you're still going to die super quick. But that's basically it. Now we have other things like small changes here and there that are going to be happening that we aren't going to get patch notes for until the patch hits on Tuesday. And I'll be going over all that stuff on Reset Day. That's going to be a longer Reset Day video for sure. But that's basically all I have for this video. And it's about 20 minutes long. And I've been talking non-stop, and I would like to stop talking. So if you like this video, you want to show your support, hit that like button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. If you are new here, subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But do not forget to have a good day, everybody, and I will catch you all next time.